Hello, Africa. My name is Eunice Tony, and this is eTVGhana's African Women's Voices Show. It's the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. How have you been? Wow, I've missed you all, and I'm so excited to be with you again this week. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you who have always joined us on Facebook from all over the world. Thank you so much for all your comments, for your support, for all the reactions. We are really, really grateful for them all. WCW, Women Crush Wednesday. Who are you crushing on? I hope you said something wonderful to that woman that you're crushing on. Could be your mom, could be your girlfriend, whoever it is, your brother, your sister, and you feel like, wow, you've done something so wonderful that I want to say, yeah, you're my crush for today. If you haven't done that yet, please, I need you to get to that person right away and let the person know that you're crushing on the person for today. All right. I want to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors who have always made it possible for us to be having the show. And as usual, I always start with my hydration partner, Voltic. Voltic is my hydration partner, and especially in these times of the virus, it's very good to keep yourself hydrated all the time. So whenever you feel thirsty, you need to think Voltic. And even when we go on commercial breaks, grab your Voltic and ensure that you're hydrated, okay? Thank you so much for all you do for us, Voltic, and how you are keeping Ghana clean. We have vantage points where we've placed bins so that whenever you take your Voltic, you just squeeze it, you know, twist it, and then you put it in the bin where we can get it to be recycled. Voltic does not want you to be littering the streets of Ghana, streets of Africa, or wherever you find yourself, because Voltic is environmentally friendly. Another sponsor of ours that deserves a lot of accolades is Chana Shito. Chana Shito is Ghana's #1 pepper sauce. It goes so well with any kind of food you think about. You know, sometimes when you cook your soup and you feel like it's not, you know, spicy enough, it's not as hot as you want it to be, just take a little bit of Chana Shito and drop it in it. It will give it a whole new taste, a whole new flavor, aroma, and all, and you enjoy that meal. Another person I'd like to say thank you to is Afariwa Styles. You see my dress? I really am feeling very gorgeous and nice because Afariwa has put together this very beautiful outfit for me. Afariwa Styles can be located physically and also online. On social media, you can locate her on Facebook and Instagram at afariwa.styles. If you want to meet her physically, you could see her at Osu or at the container bus stop around at Teshinungwa. Once you just get to the container bus stop and you look to your left, you're going to find Afariwa Styles there, strategically positioned there, because you just notice that there's this air of freshness and this air of beauty that keeps radiating from the place, because contemporary ladies and gents outfits are what you're going to see displayed over there. They've also got gift vouchers that you can use to appreciate people, because nowadays people are so busy and we always want to get the right thing for our friends. Therefore, it's best for you to go get the person a gift voucher from Afariwa Styles. Afariwa, thank you so much for all you're doing for us on African Women's Voices Show, and even for Ghanaians and people beyond Ghana, across the shores of Africa. Thank you so much, all our sponsors. Awu's hair. You see my hair? It's so bouncy. That's because Awu put it together for me. Awu can be located on Instagram at Awu's hair, and she's going to put together any kind of hair you want. If you want it in braids, if you want it in weaves, if you want it as a cap, whichever way you want it bleached, she can do it all for you. So just look for her on Facebook and Instagram at Awu's hair, okay, and you'll find her there. She'll put together whatever style that you want. And if you're a brand out there looking for a way to be able to talk about your product, I think you need to try us. You definitely are going to get value for your market. All right. I'll be taking you over to the 60 seconds update segment where we tell you what's happening to women here in Ghana and across Africa. So do stay tuned as we take you over there.
The Minister-designate for Sanitation and Water Resources, Madam Cecilia Dapa, has stated that Accra is still on course to become the cleanest city in Africa. According to her, government has rolled out various policies and interventions aimed at achieving this target. She said this on Tuesday while she was undergoing vetting by the council. This comes on the back of a pledge by President Akufo-Addo to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa by the end of his first term in office. She, however, indicated that there are few loopholes that need to be addressed in order to completely achieve the president's aim of making Accra the cleanest city. Madam Shirley Ayoko-Boche, the Minister-designate for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, has appealed to Serbian investors to come and invest in Ghana. She made the appeal on Tuesday when Mr. Juralajka, ambassador of Serbia to Ghana, paid a courtesy call on her in Accra. She mentioned the need for countries such as Serbia to act as advocates for developing countries such as Ghana to have access to affordable vaccines in the global fight against COVID-19 pandemic that had badly hit the economy, and stated that it behoves on countries to utilize traditional friendships to jointly battle the pandemic. Family members and sympathizers struggled with tears as the biological mother of Ghanaian musician Becca, Juliadom Oti, was laid to rest over the weekend. The singer-songwriter's mother passed on January 7, 2021 in London after a short illness. A burial service was held in a church, but with no filing passed as her casket remained closed. Tributes were poured in by her husband and siblings as well as family and friends of Becca at a private ceremony in Brompton, London.
Welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. Lizzie's Tomato Mix is one brand that actually has also supported us right from the time we started, and we are very thankful to Lizzie's Tomato Mix. If you have been cooking your stews, your soup with some other kind of tomato, I need you to try this Lizzie's Tomato Mix, and you definitely be thanking me. If you go to any vendor in the various markets, you will find Lizzie's Tomato Mix. Try it in your jollof. Try it in your groundnut soup. Try it in light soup. Try it in any dish, your stews. If you just want to know how good tomatoes can taste, just try Lizzie's Tomato Mix when you're cooking your next meal. I'm going to give out a phone number for you to call if you want it to be purchased in bulk, and they will sort you out. All right? Okay, so it's time for us to be able to talk to our guest, and our guest is somebody who is going to be sharing a lot of insights with us because she's in a space that a lot of people do not really want to get into. Yes, we keep hearing about people going into that space, but when they go in, they leave. They don't stay there because it's not a very good space to be in. But with all the challenges that she keeps facing, she still maintains that she wants to remain in that space. And we felt like it's really good for us to be talking to this person. So for those of you who have been following the conversation on social media, we talked about the fact that as we end our Love Month series, we would like to be looking at an aspect of love. Because so far we've looked at submission in marriage, we've looked at various forms of love, including self-love as well. And this time around, we're looking at patriotism and philanthropy. A lot of people say, I love my country. Oh, I like to give people. Well, how far would you go if you want to engage in this? Somebody has been identified who is in that space and is showing love for her country as well as love for people. And we want to really talk to this person and get to understand what led her there, what kept her there, and what keeps her moving. So ladies and gentlemen, join me as we make welcome somebody very special to us here at eTVGhana and to a lot of people who know her. I'd like the drum roll to start now. Ding, 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 ding. Rose Dodd, how are you?
I'm very well, Eunice.
Wow, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
We're so happy. We are so happy to have you. And the interesting thing to know about Rose is the fact that she actually is a multifaceted woman. She is in so many places. I'm going to be reading out her profile to you as we continue the conversation. But right now, I know a lot of you are itching because you've already watched the commercials, watched the 60 seconds update, and you really want to delve in it. Fine, we'll just go into it. So it has to do with Kayaye.
It does.
I'm just wondering, what took you into that space of Kayaye?
Okay. So their children brought me into the space.
Okay.
More specifically, their children under 6 years old brought me into the space. I have a deep passion for children and having the ability and the space to be children in their early years of their lives. And that's what brought me there with Kayayo. My family has been living in Medina for the past almost 5-6 years now. And we live very close to the market. So we interact, you know, we go by there a lot, drive through there when I'm going to work a lot. And I used to always see these mothers with the babies on their backs. And I just wondered, you know, what they would have to go through every day, carrying a baby on their back. And Kayo sometimes carry weights heavier than their body weight, right? So imagine that, and then having a baby as well. And I would wonder, what does that child do the whole day? They just stay on their mother's back. They are sometimes fed, you know, like by the mother turning around this way.
Really?
Yeah, so maybe the food is in the bag.
The baby is behind, and then they just turn,
and offer them food, water, a drink, you know. So and the child doesn't get the opportunity to play. And when they do put them down, it's in a market space that's not safe. Sometimes they get burned. Sometimes they get lost. So all of that is what brought me into this space with my organization.
That's interesting. Wow. So the children of the Kayes is actually what brought you into this space. And the beautiful thing about it is that a lot of times people really don't look at the children. Like a lot of people who want to do this charity work, they feel like, oh, let's look for a certain, I don't want to mention names, but people feel like, okay, this is really going to work for us. It's going to sell. Let's go into this space. It will work. So like somehow we found people who are interested in charity just because of what they can make. But we followed what you've been doing on social media, and we find it very, very encouraging and very, very interesting. So these children, when you approach these women and you talk to them about the situation of their children, what is their reaction when you let them know that, look, what's happening right now is not the best? How do they react?
Very positively, very open. You would be surprised, or maybe not, that a Kayo mother is like any other mother. They do not want any worse for their child than any other child they see out there. So they are very open to getting the best for their children. The question for them, the problem for them really is access. And access can be defined very broadly, right? Access is not just about physical access. It's about monetary access. It's about access in terms of it fitting into your schedule. It's about access in terms of feeling welcome and feeling accepted in the space, right? So for them, it's really about access. It's not that they don't want the best for their child. It's about access and also trust. One of the biggest things we had to build with the Kayo mothers to get going was trust. And it took us a little over a year to build that trust.
That's interesting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be going for a quick break. When we return, we are going to now get into the conversation deeply to understand the patriotic side of what she's doing and the philanthropic side of what she's doing. Do stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. And you're welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. Before we went on the break, I told you I was going to be giving you a number for bulk purchase if you want to get your Lizzie's tomato mix. The number is ready, and I need you to grab your pens right now and put it down because it's good business for you who is watching me right now. So Lizzie's tomato mix is a perfect blend of finest tomatoes, and it gives your meals a great taste. Prepare all your dishes with Lizzie's tomato mix, especially your jollof, your stew, your groundnut soup, your light soup, you know, everything that deserves tomatoes. Lizzie tomato mix is all you need to make your food taste delicious. For bulk purchase, kindly call 050-140-1085 or 0332-095314. I take the number again, 050-140-1085 or 0332-095314. All right, so we're also talking to Rose Dodd, and we're just getting to blend into the conversation. And we asked her, you know, what pushed her into the Kaya space. And she said that it was the children of the Kayayes that actually pushed her in there, especially having lived in a part of Accra, Ghana called Medina. So now let's get to know who Rose Dodd actually is. Rose Dodd is the founder of Kaya Child Care, an early childhood development program designed to facilitate the holistic development of the Kayayos child from age 1 through to kindergarten and transition to primary 1. She is a social entrepreneur, an educator with interests in early childhood education for urban poor populations and models for systems change in education. Rose is a faculty at Ashesi University in entrepreneurship and leadership and is the director for the university's impact scale initiative called the Education Collaborative. Her passions lay in improving the systems for inclusion in education in Ghana and Africa through innovative models in social entrepreneurship. Wonderful. So now we get to understand the reason why you are so drawn to the children of the Kayayes. Education is something you really love. That's why you don't want the child of the Kayaye to just be behind their mothers and not be able to get through into school. Wonderful. So when you say that you actually give them a holistic development, you know, from an early stage to primary 1, what do you mean by that?
So what we do is engage every aspect of their cognitive, physical, emotional, social development. So we actually create a curriculum for the children at the different stages and levels of development, from age 1, which is the intake age at Kaya Child Care. We engage them in play, in building their motor skills, in engaging with teachers they've never met before, in making new friends, so that they can build that social and emotional skill and confidence to engage with others in society. Also developing the critical parts of their brains, right, and building their ability to handle multiple engagements at once, right?
Okay.
Because you need a child to realize that, okay, I mean, I'm doing this particular task, but if another one comes by, I should be able to make that decision that, okay, let me leave this, continue this, or I can do them side by side. It's a mental process that skill is developed as a child at that very early age.
Oh, that's wonderful, because we have a lot of adults right now who just do not have any idea of how to multitask.
Exactly.
But in your case, you're beginning to teach the children, as young as they are, how to be able to multitask, because life is not fair anyway. We find ourselves having to juggle through different kinds of work, you know, house chores, education. We do all of it at the same time. So if you're somebody who doesn't learn how to multitask, you will be slacking. And that's very wonderful that you're teaching the children of Kayaye such, you know, skills. So it means that your place is a school, the facility is a school for them.
Yes, it's a school. And it starts from, so just like you have a regular school, what we would call daycare. So there's a daycare aspect of it, there's a nursery aspect of it, and then there's the kindergarten aspect of it, KG1, KG2, and then we transition them into class 1. So I have teachers, I have a proprietor or a manager for the space, I have cooks, I have cleaners, we are certified by social welfare. We really do set up like a school, exactly like a school.
Interesting. So if you are not a Kayaye's child, can you attend the school?
Yes, actually. So what we do is to build the child's social emotional development, right? They get to engage with other kids that may not be Kayayo children.
Okay.
However, we still limit it to low-income children whose mothers may be the hawk, or they have a shop in the market, and so that they don't have alternatives for childcare. They also attend the school so that the Kayayo children get to, you know, engage with other kids outside of their circle of friends as well. Oh,
that's beautiful. It's actually the month of love here in GMABC, and we've been discussing various aspects of love. And today we're actually talking about patriotism. So I want to believe that part of what you're doing is something around patriotism. But what would you say patriotism is to you? How would you define it?
Well, I mean, patriotism in general is having love for your country or for your homeland, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's also about knowing that I have the duty to lead change and create an impact wherever I am with whatever skill I have. So it's not really about waiting for a big opportunity to do something grand. It's just about looking at where I am, the fact that I can influence others. I should take that opportunity to bring an impact and create change.
That's very beautiful. Thank you so much. So it means that being a patriotic Ghanaian, you have found this way of leading change in the lives of the Kayaye's child to ensure that, I mean, the future of Ghanaian children is a lot better. Even if your parents are not from the elite side of Ghana, I mean, they are still going to have the access that other children have. And I think it's something that a lot of people really need to emulate. Well done for this gesture. So how long have you been into this?
We started in 2017.
Okay.
When I started Kaya Child Care, it was just an idea. I engaged with my students at Ashesi University because I teach an entrepreneurship class. And I said, you know, this is an idea for a project. Are you interested in, you know, engaging in the research with me? We went out into the markets by Medina. We went to where the Kayo live. We spoke to a lot of them. We tested out the model a little bit, you know, a small corner. And then throughout the years, really built on the learnings that we've had. It's been quite the journey from 2017 to now. But we've seen a lot of good outcomes coming of it.
That's beautiful. Talking about good outcomes, I really would like to know the kind of help that you've been able to render to these people. Apart from the fact that, you know, they're in the school, what other things, or is that the only thing you've been doing for them?
No. We also organize an annual health screening exercise for not just the Kayo whose kids are enrolled in our center, but all the Kayo in the Medina area who can make it for that day. And really, we run that exercise, health screening exercise, till the sun goes down.
Okay.
And sometimes we go, you know, as many as 200 Kayo with their children. We screen for the basic diseases, the hepatitis, general health care, etc. And we actually we engage doctors, volunteer nurses, and some other volunteers to you know help these women. And during that period, we educate them in basic hygiene, you know, basic hygiene, basic nutrition for their kids. Also at the center, quarterly, we have what other schools would call a PTA with the mothers. And in that period, we try to train them on, we try to have a conversation about what child development means. Because it's not just about your child being able to read and write. It's deeper than that, right? It's about the brain developing. It's about executive functioning developing. And we figure out ways to connect to the Kayo mother who may not be educated to help them understand what it means for your child to develop.
Wow, that's wonderful. So do they embrace this? Because, well, the perception about a lot of the women from this, you know, within the Kayo, they are like, well, they are believed to be people who really like to keep to themselves and do things the way they want to do it, because they've seen it, you know, happen from generation to generation, and they're not like the kind of people who would want to hear you say, okay, you cannot do things this way, or this kind of food combination is not going to work for your child. How has it been dealing with the mothers of these children? Has it been that very easy?
Eunice, when we think about it, aren't we all? We all have. Well. We all have our ways, right? We all have certain ways we want our things, because my mother has taught me how it's done. You know, who are you to tell me that it's supposed to be different? The only difference is some of us have a certain level of education that has allowed us to explore and understand things in a different way, right? So it hasn't been easy. Like I said, it took us 1.5 years to get to a point where the Kayo mothers really trusted us. It's taken patience and a lot of commitment and love, to be honest with you. From the team, from my teachers, from our supporters, and even our board of directors, to keep going and to keep engaging the mothers. What we do is we build the relationship to get to a point where it's one of mutual respect. right? We both have responsibilities, is what we tell the mom. You take care of your responsibilities where it comes to your child's education and obeying the rules of the center. And we take care of our responsibilities when it comes to your child's education and safety and the rules of the center. And then in that way, we are able to relate with them.
Awesome. Yeah. So we'll be going for another quick breather. When we return, I'm going to be asking her one question that has been bugging my mind, and that has to do with rural-urban migration. The fact that these people are getting all this support means that a lot of them are going to be coming down, and you know what that means? Overcrowding in the cities. So when we return, we're going to find out how she's contributing to that. You're welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show, the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. Now, I'm actually going to our Facebook page to get to see what's going on there. I need to acknowledge all of you who are watching from all over. As usual, I see Tenny Agana. Tenny is dancing. She's so happy that she's watching the show. Tenny, thank you so much for joining in. I see Ivando Hero. Wow, Ivando, thank you for joining us. I see Nana Jan Jabo. He's clapping his hands. Okay, thank you so much. And then, as usual, I see a lot of you waving your hands. I'm seeing somebody waving her hands from, she says, I'm waving from Kinshasa. Kinshasa, oh my God, thank you so much for actually, joining us on the show. I see another wave from Togo. I see a wave from Cameroon. I see a wave from Tamale. I see from Kumasi here in Ghana. I also see from the Cape Coast. I see from Takrady. She said Market Circle area. Thank you so much. And I want to say thank you. A lot of times, some of you just purchase data and you stick to Facebook and you watch us just because you don't want to miss us, the show. Thank you. We really, really are grateful. And then I'm seeing some comment here. Somebody is called Grace Love. Grace Love Dodd is clapping her hands. Thank you so much, Grace Love, for watching and for clapping your hands to us. It means we are doing something good. Then I'm also seeing somebody called Amadavi. Okay, Amadavi says she's enjoying the conversation. And Rose Dodd, oh, she's amazing. Oh, Amadavi says that you're amazing. Thank you so much. Okay, I see another one from Ejekum. Ejekum says, wow, I'm so happy that women are really looking into charity. They say charity begins at home and women are all about love. Thank you so much, Rose Dodd. Rose, wow, Ejekum, thank you. We appreciate you. So somebody is saying that you're doing well with the Kai children. I also see Evelyn Kofi. She said, my awesome boss, well done. I see Juliet Aqua Dodd. She's clapping her hands. And I see Naomi Kweku is clapping and also watching us from Accra. Thank you so much. Okay, somebody just joined in. Okay, she said, I'm watching you from Japan. Okay, I can't pronounce your name, but I can see your wave because your name is in your language, so I'm not able to pronounce it. But all the way from Japan, thank you so much for actually joining in. I see Ivy Jijo Doglo. She's raising her hands. Wow, nice. I see Sampa Dave. Thank you for all joining in and watching the show. So I'll get back to you all on Facebook. Let me just get on with the conversation. Before we went on the break, I was asking her, or I was telling her that there's something that we noticed. A lot of times when people get freebies or they get the opportunity to enjoy good things, it means that a lot more people will be coming for that good thing. Because, I mean, sweet things are very attractive. So with this kind of support that you're giving, it's a good one, but are you not contributing to this rural-urban migration where you have a lot of people coming down because they know that, okay, Grace Dodd has got a place, Rose Dodd has got a place, to take care of our children. Maybe we should just come down towards Medina and see whether she's going to cite us and help us out. Do you agree with me or not? Because I was thinking, okay, why is it that people who are into your kind of venture are not thinking of probably sending the help to them in the rural areas where they are, and then help them with some kind of skill so that they develop themselves in their community and live a very good life. Because in Accra, it's not as cheap as it will be in their villages. So it's a good thing, but I mean, it's just something that has been bugging me, and I just felt like, okay, let me just ask this question. I don't know what you think about it.
No, it's a very good question. It's a fair question. So I picked up two things from what you said. So first of all, it's not a freebie.
Okay.
The Kayo mother pays to bring their child to Kaya childcare.
Okay.
They just pay a daily rate. which is much cheaper than they
and
would have to
easier
pay.
for
And
them.
easier
Daily
for
rate is
them.
really
It's
comfortable.
a daily rate. It's a low rate. It covers a lot of their nutrition at the center because we feed them at the center. So it's not free.
Okay, now we get it.
And also we have center, I guess you call them rules, you know, directions.
Okay.
There's a time we start, there's a time we close, there's a time you have to pick up your child, and you can't keep breaking that, right? I mean, at least not without notice. So there's directions to this. So it's not, you know, just open
for
come,
people
go,
to just come in
as
and
you
go like
wish.
that. Oh,
no,
okay.
it's very structured. It's like any other school, except we really design the model around their schedule, around their way of life, around the child's access to whatever they have access to at home, so that when they come to school, it's an easy transition. And when they go back home, it's an easy transition.
Okay.
So that you know, that's one bit of it. Also, people in my space are actually supporting women back up north, so they don't have to travel as Kayayu.
Okay.
There are also people who are supporting them when they come here to get them ready to go back.
Okay.
You know, to start something back home. One of them is she's actually watching. You mentioned her name.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's happening. Now, what is also happening is that while all of this is happening, the child is still growing. I mean, the child was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. By the time the mother says, okay, I'm going to go back up north to start a business, that child has missed at least the first 3 years of their lives, which is very critical.
True.
So what we are saying is that while we figure out what to do with everything concerning the Kayayu, we don't want the child to miss those early stages of their lives, the development that needs to happen at that time, because you can't go back in time, right?
Okay.
So let's take advantage of wherever they are right now, close to us in the Medina area. We can engage them. We can work with them. We can put them on the development track. When it's time for them to go back, and we actually partner with organizations that help them go back home if that's what they want to do. When it's time for them to go back, that child will be ready to succeed when they get into primary school, right? Because they wouldn't have missed the foundational years of their lives.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
that's what we really work on. And usually when the mother says, okay, we are ready to go back to the north, we connect with wherever the child goes to school up north.
Okay.
We talk to, if it's a teacher there, we'll talk to that teacher. You know, this child is coming from here, this is their records, this is what they know how to do already. And every now and then we call in to see how's the kids who came to your
so
school
that means
doing.
you see to the transition from
to the
here
transition.
to even where
if
they're
they
going
go
to be
when
in
they
the
go
north.
back, yeah. So for us, it's about that gap, you know, because children don't wait. They continue to grow.
True.
And we can't just wait, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I see the patriotic love just, I mean, it's oozing out, and I'm getting infected and beginning to understand, you know, because we all think that when you're like patriotic, it has to do like with you having to join the service or the force, you know, to do something to show that, okay, yeah, I'm also joining the force, you know, I'm patriotic. But there are other ways of being patriotic, and this is one very good way of being patriotic. And if you haven't thought of something to show how patriotic you are to your country, Ghana, we think this should be the right time to begin to think about it. Yeah. We are going to be celebrating another anniversary in next month, you know, very soon on the 6th of March. So it's time for you to show the love that you have for your country and for the people even within the country. So talking about having to partner, you know, institutions to help you with fundraising, how is it going?
Well, raising funds is very difficult. Anyone who's trying to raise funds will tell you that it's a very difficult thing to do. But we have been very fortunate. Our community is very supportive. Family, friends support with some cash donation. But what I've found is that people support a lot more with donations in kind, in food, in cleaning material, etc. Where we've had the biggest challenge with raising support is raising the cash, actual cash funding that we need to run operations, right? For example, we have to pay for electricity, we have to pay for water, right? We have to pay for rent. which you know in Ghana you have to pay 3 years in advance, 4 years in advance,
Very
stuff
true.
like that, right? So in as much as we are working towards sustainability, cash, you know, it's still a challenge for us, especially when COVID happened, where we had our sustainability plan was rolling out nicely, 2019. We're excited for 2020, and then, you know, it all just went down the drain.
Yeah.
So we had
I
to
can
just
understand.
went that way. So we had to quickly reach out to our network, to our friends and family, and say, you know, we need something to hold us over for the next few months till we, you know, come back up again. So it's been a challenge, but it's also has, you know, we've gotten some positive feedback there as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. We'll have to go for another quick break. When we return, I'd like to find out what kind of challenges she actually is facing in trying to be patriotic and also to help, you know, people like this. We'll be also opening our phone lines. So when we return, the phone lines will be open, and then you can talk to us about what change you want to institute after hearing her story. What you want to do to show how patriotic you are as a Ghanaian or as an African. We'd like to hear that right after this. Okay, and you're welcome back. I've come back to our Facebook page, and I want to say I want to acknowledge the presence of Regina Emisa Harm. She says, kudos, Sisi. I see Mustafa Gamal. He said, you are so beautiful. Thank you. I see Francis Kwesi Dodd. We are watching you. So proud of what you're doing for mankind. Wow, this is a special one. Francis Kwesi Dodd is your dad. Hey, Daddy. Okay, thank you so much for this blessing. I mean, to have your father say something so nice about you is really a blessing. Thank you so much for the support. I see Nana Kwabena Owusu. He says, very inspiring, Rose. Wow, thank you all. And I also see more waves. Oh, my regular viewer from Afghanistan. I see you. I see you, Gloria Kereke from the UK. And I also see you, my regular viewer from Dubai. Thank you so much for joining in. And the rest of you, please keep sending in your comments, okay? It's still the month of love here in eTV Ghana. And somebody sent us a video, and she wants to express her love to certain people within the sports space. And she has sent us something that we feel like, okay, let's just share it, since she wants to motivate people who are in the space of sports. If my director can put that up on the screen. Okay, so while we wait for that to be able to come up, I'd like to have you discuss with us if you have been facing some kind of challenges so far, you know, in the job. What kind of challenge, apart from the fact that we know that finances is not something that is very easy to come across, because you mentioned that those who actually donate like to donate in kind, and a lot of times you need the cash to be able to do other things, but it's not flowing. And the fact that, well, as women, we are all not very easy, so sometimes when you're trying to teach them that they should do things this way, it's not that easy. Are there other kind of challenges that you face, you know, having to do this kind of job with people like the KIAs?
Well, when you say with, you mean specifically with the KIO?
Yeah, with the KIA people, because I mean, it's not a very easy space to be in.
Yeah,
it's not.
Well, the most notable one really is the inconsistencies, right?
Okay.
But then, by that I mean the inconsistencies in their engagement with us, right? We realize that with every mother that comes to the center with their child, there's a certain period by which, like, it's like a transition period where they are figuring out, okay, how do I engage? Like, how serious are these guys with the rules they have in place, you know? And that transition period can be a bit challenging, because it really pushes a teacher or a center managers. It could push your patience, right? But, you know, it usually takes maybe about a month, worst case, for a mother and her child to transition well into the center. Okay. Besides that, the other challenges really are what we've already discussed. You know, with the space and the cash flow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I see something that director has put up there. Oh, this is so lovely. All right. So do we have the video of the one who wants to, you know, share some kind of love for the sports people? Okay. Right. Let's play it.
Hi there, this is a little encouragement to women in sports. I understand over the years, sports has been a male-dominated industry and it's difficult to make it as a woman. But things have changed now. There are a lot of women making it in this industry, and therefore you can also make it. Don't let anyone deceive you, or don't let anyone tell you that you are not good enough for sports. You are very good enough for sports. With hard work and dedication, you can also make it. You are not far from gaining your dream job in the industry. It is very difficult. It is not on a silver platter, but I am here to encourage and entreat you all that whatever it is, do not give up. Keep on fighting, keep on pushing, and you will definitely get to the top of your game in this industry.
All right. Thank you very much, Rita Asari, for sending in that lovely message to women in sports. And I want to believe that they've heard you and they're going to keeping on, okay? And you also have to keeping on. The phone lines have been activated and the phone numbers are on your screen. It's 0555 657278. 0555-657278. We'd like to hear your contribution to the conversation. If it's a question, if it's a comment you want to make, please feel free and join in. All right? Thank you so much. So now that we've been able to discuss the challenges that you usually go through, we'd like to hear the success stories. What kind of success stories have you, been able to chalk in this endeavor of yours?
So I'll tell you, remember I mentioned about rent payments and such in Ghana? We very successfully, towards the end of 2019, found a new space for the center, which is bigger. It can take in more kids. And luckily for us, we found a landlord who really shared the passion for the women and for their children, and worked with us to come up with an agreement that really fits with our financial, our financial standing.
He's a patriotic Ghanaian.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, thank you. Shout out to you, landlord. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So now you have that space, and he's making you pay the rent according to your strength.
Yes. So he gave us a very good deal on the rent, right? And even thinking much further ahead beyond us being there maybe 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. He thought ahead with us. And for what we're going to use the space for, because he really supports this vision, and it's a patriotic Ghanaian, like
yes,
you said.
he is.
So,
wow, beautiful.
In its own little way, yeah.
That's a beautiful success story. So what about the children who have been able to travel back up north? Do you hear anything about them? What's going on with them?
So we had one boy specifically who traveled back up north. We heard from his teacher. They were just really impressed with the level of development of the child, what they could do at that level for a child of, Ekayo. They were very surprised, which is actually why the teacher called us.
Wow.
Because she wanted to find out, who are you? What have you been doing with these kids that you've been able to bring them this far? We also have some kids who went back up north but returned.
Okay.
And one of the things we've done in our program is, I'm sorry, my mask.
It's
one of the things we've done in our program is figure out how to transition them back if they take a break. Okay. Because we realize it's part of their life. They travel back up north sometimes. Sometimes it's, it's at the spur of the moment. Sometimes it's planned. So it's been a tricky thing to figure out. But we figured out how to transition a child back after they take a long break. Okay. And we had a child like that who is flying colors, as they say right now. Very amazing. He's probably going to graduate this year, actually, into primary one. And we've also graduated in 2019. We graduated 3 of the kids into primary one, and they're also doing very well in primary one right now.
Well, we must say well done for all you do. Let me go back to our Facebook page. I see a message from Clementina. Clementina says that she's really trying to get through, but the lines are jammed. She doesn't have a question. What she wants to do is to send a contribution. So she was asking how she can support. Well, Rose Dodd, you can find her on Instagram or Facebook, so then you can inbox her. And then, so what's your social media address for
Kaya Childcare? It's
Yes.
Kaya Childcare Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kaya Child Care Center on Facebook. So you could engage her there and then you can support. Thank you very much. No matter how small the amount is, we really would appreciate it. So I have another person, Stephen Ampofo. Stephen Ampofo says, if only we have a lot of us around. I'm also into a form of philanthropy. It's not very easy, so I can appreciate what Rose is going through in terms of raising fund. So I want to say, Rose, I understand what you're going through. Keep keeping on. Wow, thank you so much, Ampofo. We also see Nana Mabwa Ponsem. She says, amazing. And so many other messages that I've seen here that maybe we cannot go through because our time is up. You know, the show runs from 8 to 9 p.m. Well, with time, we see whether we could ask for an extension, but for now, it's a 1-hour program. So if you did not start with us from 8 p.m. today, the repeat broadcast is on Saturdays at 12. From 12 to 1 p.m. you get to watch it. If you also go on our Facebook page at eTVGhana, you get to watch it again. We also post it on YouTube. So when you go to eTV's YouTube page, you also get to watch it as well as many other stories that we've been telling and sharing. I want to say a very big thank you to all our sponsors. Voltaic, thank you so much. Afariwa Styles, Chanashito, Lizzie's Tomato Mix, and my hair by Awu's Hair. Thank you. Today, the way I've been flexing with this hair, it's been good. Thank you so much for you always joining in and making your contributions. We really appreciate you. The conversations will continue on social media, so reach out to us, okay, at eTVGhana, or you can also reach out to me personally at Eunice Tony, and definitely will get back to you. Thank you so much, Rose, for passing through, and I think we want to have another conversation with you again, so please do make time for us, okay?
I will. Thank you so much
All
for
right,
having
you're
me.
welcome. So for you watching us right now, I'd like you to enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.